my name is Tendai Manombo, and this is Info, the weekly news in 4 minutes. Last year, the President signed the Instrument of Ratification on the African Charter on Democracy, Elections and Governance. The Charter seeks to promote and enhance adherence to the principle of the rule of law premised upon the respect for and the supremacy of the Constitution and constitutional order in the political arrangements of the state parties. As the nation heads towards the 2023 elections, it is important to observe the electoral environment and uphold the provisions of the African Charter to ensure democracy and the respect of human rights, more so the rights of women. The environment leading up to the general elections is generally marked by violence, arrests, and intimidation, thus undermining democracy by substituting freedom of choice with coercion and by deterring participation. Due to this, women are discouraged from taking part in elections and taking up positions in government as the environment does not enable them to participate equitably with men. For this reason, it is important to ensure that young girls throughout the country, especially women in rural areas, are well represented in political and economic leadership positions. On the 27th of May, Zimbabwe United Passengers Company, ZUPCO, announced new bus fares effective 1st of June. These new bus fares come after a wave of related Zim dollar increases, such as toll fees, fuel, electricity, and vehicle insurance premiums. These increases are coupled with the wild price increases of grocery items in the past 2 months, which have increased the vulnerability of the common man. Chief among many social ills building up in the economy is the effect of these price increases on the welfare of civil servants and private sector employees. Most employees cannot pay fees for their children, and neither can they pay for access to health facilities, afford decent meals, or decent living conditions. Meanwhile, the government is upwardly reviewing its service fees with margins that outdo salary increase margins. It is now 6 months into the implementation of the 2022 national budget, and the Portfolio Committee on Budget, Finance and Economic Development, in conjunction with the expanded Committee on Sustainable Development, undertook budget feedback meetings on the 30th of May to the 3rd of June. However, key reflections by ZIMCOD show that just as was the case with the 2022 budget consultations, the 2022 budget feedback meetings are merely a form of public grandstanding as they continue to be exclusionary. As the public awaits the midterm budget review, the country seems to be off course due to inflationary pressures which are weighing heavily on the budget. There is a possibility of citizens witnessing large budget variances and unbudgeted expenditures. Therefore, in the second half of the year, the government should deliberately invest in people-centered sectors such as health, education, housing, and other social services, as these have been severely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. The government should also focus on building strong social safety nets to cushion vulnerable groups like people with disabilities, the elderly, and children. This brings us to the end of our bulletin. Please join us once again next week.